Welcome back to Ohio and Company. If you're a worker in transition, looking for that next big career move, we have some great advice for you today. There's a group that's really helping people in a huge way. And here to share more about that today is Wade Meyer with Inviting Conversations and Jeff Young with 40 Plus of Central Ohio. Thanks for being with us, gentlemen.
Thank you, Eve.
Wade, let's start with you. We have talked about this on Ohio and Company. You know, the job market is tough right now in Ohio and across the country. Unemployment about 10% in the Buckeye State. How do people manage to navigate this then and try to get back?
I can remember several years ago when I was first looking for a job, 21 years old, and was told, just grab the Sunday paper, go through the help wanted ads, make a few phone calls, no problem. It's very different today. There have to be strategies for writing the best resume, doing the best interview. It's more than just picking up the phone and saying, hire me. And so as people are looking for these jobs, they also need to look for ways to stand out. And that's why we have 40 Plus. Jeff is here with us from 40 Plus today to talk about what 40 Plus does and how 40 Plus can help you gain that advantage.
And Jeff, let's get to that. What is 40 Plus? You know, people might think by the name that it's only for people over 40, but that's not true.
That's correct. It actually stands for the number of hours a week that you spend looking for a job or the full-time job of finding a job.
Okay.
40 Plus is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that basically does job search training and support. Okay. And we've been around since 1982 locally. It was actually originally created back in the 1930s by several business executives, including Norman Vincent Peale in New York. So our chapter is modeled after that. Basically, we serve folks who are in the job search transition looking for professional, managerial, technical, administrative types of work. And we provide many things that are related to the entire gamut of the process. And
we'll get to some of those specifics, but I find this really interesting. You become a member of 40 Plus. You not only tap into the services, but you actually volunteer then to use whatever expertise you bring to the table to help. So it's all organization volunteer run?
That's correct. 40 Plus does not have a single employee.
Wow.
It's basically all member run, and you do become a member, and as a part of the membership, if you want to keep your skill sets up, if your background is training and development, or your background is marketing, or your background is grants and fundraising, or something along those lines, we have a myriad of different committees that you can become a part of. Keep your skill sets up, and it allows you to contribute as well. And we find that it actually works that you can do that and look for your job at the same time, because many of those types of things are related to just getting out and getting your story out into the environment anyway.
And I would imagine it keeps people fresh, as you said, and current, and it can be probably pretty depressing if you don't have a job. So you want to keep in the game, so
it's a great way to have something to say when somebody says, "What have you been doing for the 6 months that you that you've been out of work?"
And you do resume help.
That's correct.
You also do networking. Tell us about the networking and how important that is in today's world.
Yes, it's extremely important. I mean, everybody, I think, understands that networking is really the lifeblood of this process. That's really how things get done. One of the takes that 40 Plus does on it, though, is as Wade said, it's a process of differentiating yourself. And that's what we train in many, many instances. So we try to teach people to strategically network. By that, what we mean is that you basically go back to the basics to begin with, determining who you are, what you want, and what you have to offer. And once you have that set, now you need to tell it to as many people as possible. So that's how we teach people to go through the process. And also utilizing tools and techniques that weren't around, as Wade said before, things like LinkedIn, things like Twitter, all of those other, again, tools that you use, because the object is not to spend all day looking at LinkedIn. The object is to get in front of somebody, and that's just one of the tools that you can use to do that.
And you also do help with people who maybe aren't very good with interviewing and even negotiating, which is really great.
The training piece of what we do is, as I said, from the very beginnings of the process that says who you are, what you want, what you have to offer. Then putting it all together in terms of now how do you market that, how do you actually go through the interviews, how do you do practice interviews, How do you actually negotiate, okay, once you've actually got an offer? That's something that not a lot of other organizations offer. It's amazing that people just don't think, especially in today's day and age where they've been out for a while, they think they need to grab that very first thing. Okay,
right.
The object of the game here is not
Get what
to
you
necessarily
want.
Is right. You have just as much right to match you to their organization as they do, and being able to negotiate and utilize some other things that are available from not just from a salary standpoint are some of the things that we teach as well.
And very quickly, how successful is this? How are you successful in helping people?
Okay, our success rate, if you will, is that of the people that come in the door, 75% of those folks who come through the door actually do go on and find their next job. Okay?
Terrific.
We try to teach people how to find that ideal job, okay, but at least they get to the next job so that they can support themselves then and keep looking so they can find the ideal job eventually. Excuse me.
And very fast, Wade, obviously this is a great resource for people to know about.
As a testimonial to 40 Plus, the Sales and Marketing Director for Inviting Conversations is a 40 Plus alumni, and that's how I met him, was through 40 Plus.
Oh, terrific. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much today. Wade Meyer with Inviting Conversations, Jeff Young with 40 Plus of Central Ohio.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And for more on Inviting Conversations, just go to invitingconversations.com. To learn more about 40 Plus of Central Ohio, you can log on to 40plusoh.org. Stay with us. More Ohio & Company is next.